I have spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to figure out how to start our discussions. I think the best thing would be for us to jump right in and figure this thing out as we go along. How does that sound?
That sounds like a plan that would earn me a lecture from my dad. Whenever I made a well-intentioned mistake, he would say, "Your heart is in the right place, but your head does not know what it's doing." That usually creates more problems than solutions.
Okay, are you saying we should not start because I don't know what I am doing?
Oh no, quite the opposite. I really appreciate your willingness and enthusiasm to grow our previous discussion into a web series. I just want to make sure we are deliberate in our approach. I'm too old for the bull in a china shop mentality. Work smarter, not harder and all that.
What's the big deal? We're just talking about science stuff. Science updates itself all the time. What's the harm in us talking?
Google the slow death of spontaneous generation. Then we can talk about how often science updates itself. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It's been a long time since I shared your optimism. It was refreshing to hear it again.
No worries. Like I said, I'm excited to keep the discussion going. I don't really care where we end up.
Fair enough. Since I have a sneaking suspicion where our collaboration will take us, I think we can be proactive in our approach. If we ever get to a point where I feel comfortable sharing my theories on the internet, we can expect 2 questions to be asked by every person that watches your videos and has a vested interest in science. Who is this guy think he is? And if this guy is so smart, why hasn't he published his theories and earned a Nobel Prize? To you, I'm the guy that knew how to fix your scooter. To everyone else, I'm just a random old man in a restaurant. Instead of walking headfirst into the trap, I would rather answer those questions before they are asked. That way, if I do get pushback after I share a crazy theory or two, we can point back to your videos and say, "There's your answer," and we can continue going on about our business. Makes sense.
So you want everyone to sit through your life story, then listen to you complain about why you're not famous before telling us anything we might actually be interested in hearing. That is your plan.
No, not at all. But I understand why you think I said it that way. I'm proposing a non-linear approach to a traditionally linear audience.
Traditionally linear audience. That sounds like an insult wrapped up in a bunch of fancy words. Care to explain what you mean by that?
Sorry, it is not my intent to offend anyone. If I am criticizing any single entity, it is our general approach to education.
Meta education. Is that right?
The concept of public education is great. It is the method we use that I have issues with. An update is long overdue.
You lost me. We were talking about calling the audience linear thinkers and now we're bashing public education.
So we are back to where we started. If we jump right in and let the discussion take us anywhere, we will get lost very quickly, just like we did right now. Let's try this. I want to do 3 things. 1. Tell the audience about my background. 2. Tell the audience why I have not yet published my theories. And 3. Share new knowledge with the audience. How would you suggest I proceed?
I would say start with the most exciting theory you came up with to grab the attention of the audience and go from there. But I think you already said that was wrong because it will lead to people questioning you.
Not wrong, inefficient. You are suggesting we start with an attention getter that will result in a predictable pattern of questions and challenges. There is no inherent value to wasting time if we can avoid those issues that will require a lot of time to address. I want to do those 3 things simultaneously. I want the audience to have exposure to my background, my limitations and my thoughts within one dialogue. I'm suggesting a nonlinear approach is the most effective way to get us to where you want to be.
Are we making this too complicated? I thought the whole point of this was to talk about science stuff.
The complexity is already there. Without a deliberate approach to navigating said complexity, we will be lost in confusion forever. What if we do it this way? Let's make a bet. By the end of our discussion today, anyone watching this will have a general understanding of why I feel empowered to challenge the status quo, why I have not done so yet, and 80% or more of them will have learned something new.
I have not decided if I will make a lot of short clips of the interesting parts of our talks, or if I will release the full unedited discussions as they happen. What do you mean by the end of this discussion?
How you present this information on a public stage is up to you. Before you and I leave this restaurant today, you will have enough information available on video for your audience to have an introductory understanding of my background, capabilities and perspective.
What do I have to do if I lose?
Nothing. If I win, I get to be right, which is enough for me. If I lose, you get to make every creative decision about this web series going forward. I will do whatever you want.
Even share your crazy theories on camera.
I caution you to be careful what you wish for, but yes, you will have complete creative control.
Okay, so where do we start?
I think the best thing would be for us to jump right in and figure this thing out as we go along. How does that sound?
Hey, wait a second.
Sorry, that was too good to pass up. If we wanted to do this linearly, we would start with the ancient Greeks and how they predicted the existence of atoms using deductive reasoning. Since I can feel the collective yawn of the audience as they hear that, and since we are taking a nonlinear approach, let's start with a bit of context regarding my upbringing and exposure to science over time. I will share a few anecdotes to help frame my mindset and then give an overall sense of the work I put into developing my theories. That should take us through dessert. You can then either tell me I won the bet or take some time to review the videos before telling me I lost the bet.
I get to decide who wins the bet.
Sure, this is your show. You make the decisions on what happens regardless of what I think. I just want you to take some time to consider the implications of having total control of our time together before you make the decision to do so.
Yes, I love being in control. Should we order now? Or do you want to wait a while so you can talk more?
We should order now. That way you won't be stuck here all night if I bore you to death. If we want to continue talking, we can keep the coffee flowing for as long as you like, as long as it's decaf for me. Here comes the waiter now.
I have watched this clip countless times and two things always stick out that I missed during the conversation. He already has an idea where the conversation will end up. Super creepy considering I have trouble keeping up with him when we're in the room together. Does he have some master plan that I am still too blind to see? Also, I make the decisions on what happens no matter what he thinks. I still don't know if I am being indoctrinated into a cult, but I am somehow still in control. Guess I have to wait until the end to find out. Oh yeah, one more thing. Point taken on science is not always super fast at updating itself. 200 years is a long time to retire a theory that basically says we don't know. Must be magic. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to email me any questions or leave them in the comments. I will try to respond as quickly as I can and provide the best answer possible. Maybe we could do specific segments based on viewer requests. We have plenty of time to figure that out. Please subscribe to my channel to stay updated. I will post new segments as they become available. Thanks again for watching. Be well.